bit of a pickle now, guys. The two places I wanted to moor, there's boats there, no room for us. So, a bit screwed, because now we're going to a massive cutting through Gnosall, and then by the time we get out the other side, there's no parking. The next parking is Norbury junction. I might just do 2 cruises in one day today. There's no more locks, so I might just do that. The only problem is Amy is supposed to walk back at her car. This is her car that's there. I'm not insured to drive it, I don't think. I have to check my insurance. If not, I might have to pay for an hour of insurance or something. Because Amy can't walk that far, I'm just going to cycle it, I think. Probably be 10 miles, so yeah, this not gone to plan today at all. So yeah, looks like we're going to have to carry on. It is what it is. The good thing is, at least we can get through a lot of the cuttings before the storm comes tomorrow. And no doubt there'll probably be a tree that'll fall down in one of the cuttings. You see, I couldn't just moor anywhere because of the incoming storm Amy. If we moored on a cutting and a tree came down, then it could easily crush the boat. Well, we're in the very deep and narrow Gnosall cutting, and although 2 boats can pass each other in here, it's not very advisable. You see, the Cowley Tunnel, when it was being constructed in 1830, was supposed to be 600 yards long, but because the rock on top of it was so fragile and dangerous and treacherous, they had to remove it all, and they ended up with 80 yards. This explains why this cutting is so narrow and the sides are so steep. It was supposed to be a tunnel. The navvies came across some quite hard sandstone here, but this particular bit here was actually quite thick and strong, and would have taken a lot longer to remove the whole entire piece. It was not a total waste though, because a lot of this sandstone was quarried out and sold. We're now passing through the lovely village of Gnosall. Although there is mooring here and potentially parking, we're still in somewhat of a cutting, and I don't really feel comfortable mooring here with a storm coming. A bit overly cautious, I know, but you've seen the sort of things that have happened to us in the past. We're passing through Gnosall Heath. The main village is actually a little bit more east. It's got a population of around 4,700. Did you know that there was 27 different ways of spelling Gnosall throughout history? There's 2 canal-side pubs here, one called the Boat Inn and the other called the Navigation. There's a couple of convenience shops here as well, so it's a good place to stop off if you need to. Oh, it's a shame they're selling. Bet the new owners will get rid of all their little things. And this is the old Stafford to Shrewsbury railway line here. Gnosall station opened on the 1st of June 1849 and closed on the 6th of August 1966. Another victim of the Beeching Acts, where a lot of old railway lines were shut down. The good thing is though, you can take this old railway line all the way to Stafford. It also goes all the way to Newport as well.
because we're now heading onto the biggest embankment on the Shropshire Union Canal. One that pushed the opening date of this canal back 2 years. In the summer of 1829, work finally began here at Showmore, with 400 men and 70 horses on the job. They laid a line of railway from Gnosall cutting and Grub Street cutting, the opposite side. Spoil from digging out these massive cuttings was then brought here to Showmore, where a massive embankment had to be erected, and by July 1930 nearly 500,000 tons of spoil had been tipped there, and by the end of that year the bank was between 15 and 20 feet high. But at that point there are already some slips happening. All this was done and the great bank rose to a height of about 60 feet in many places by the end of 1831, but settlement continued. A railway was then laid to Norbury Manor to bring sand. The bank rose again, but also slipped again. And in July 1832, Telford confessed that he could not predict the end. Not long after that, 800 yards of the bank slipped again. Thomas Telford actually died in 1834, before the canal was even opened. But 6 months later, it was actually finally opened.
Oh yeah, it's packed down here at Norbury Junction at the moment. Christ, I think that boat just got last morning. I think he might be waiting there for me, thankfully. So I really don't want to have to try and stop the boat in amongst all these boats.
You have to think, right, this boat is 70 foot long. I could not turn it because I was still getting around the other boat, and I had about 20 foot to make the turn before I hit this boat in front.
God, that was like threading a bloody needle, that was. Jeez. Back into a cutting we go. I think we're trying more up at Shebdon.
Well, here's the most famous bridge perhaps on the Shropshire Union, the bridge with the telegraph pole in the middle. They ran telegraph lines along canals to begin with, because it was an easy route with no obstacles in the way. But with a big bridge like this, it was better to go through the bridge rather than over. It's actually the only one that remains on this canal now. They were installed way back in 1861, but the arch wasn't actually put there for the telegraph pole. It was originally there because the bridge could not sustain the pressure from each side of the cutting, so it needed an arch in the middle to strengthen it up.
Of course, only a boat. The opposite, more moored boats. Yeah, typical. So shallow here. Majestic's just grounded. Right, so we finally made it to a mooring.
Wow.
I will say things did not go to plan today.
No. But it all started. All started when I went at 9:15 to have my blood taken for my diabetes checkup, and they couldn't get me blood.
What's another car?
So
No, it's just dropped the car in the canal.
he keeps on losing cars. Yeah, so that started well with that. So they reckon I've got to go to the hospital now and have it done. So yeah, so that's the first thing started, wasn't it, Josh?
And then yeah, we set off, went to Wheaton, didn't we?
Oh yeah.
Filled up with water and well, we tried to get rid of Amy's house, but that was broke.
Yeah, the house is broken there.
Yeah.
And this is our luck. They're meant to be repairing it tomorrow, but it's been broken, listen to this, since the 12th of August.
Yeah.
So we are now the 2nd of October.
Yeah, and then we went and filled up with diesel, so we filled Olive up and Majestic up. And then it wasn't that much further, it was only about 3 miles further where we wanted some more. It was just past Little On, and just for Gnosall. But where I wanted some more, it was full up. And I couldn't moor in the trees because of Storm Amy.
What?
It's Storm Amy!
Oh, it's Storm Amy! Oh, there's a Storm Amy!
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, there's Storm Amy, one named after you. I don't think there's
No.
been a Storm Diane.
Yeah.
Good job.
So Storm Amy's coming in.
How's it
We've only got one storm, same as yours. And that's coming in tomorrow and the next day, so couldn't be anywhere in trees. And then I found a backup spot just before Gnosall, but that was all taken up as well. So then there was nowhere to moor in Gnosall, nowhere to moor at Norbury junction, so we had to keep going. So we did the cruise that we were supposed to do Sunday today as well, so we ended up cruising like 11 miles in the end.
Yeah, and I was behind and I didn't have any radios and I didn't
No.
have my phone, so I didn't know what was going on. And I kept passing subscribers, lovely subscribers kept passing, and I said, I haven't had anything all day. I said, Josh reckons we're only going 5.5 miles. I said, this feels like a lot more than 5.5.
I had no way of
We
telling them
double that.
The only thing I could have come up with, and I was going to do it, was I was going to tell someone to relay a message to Mum, but I thought, I assume she knows what's going on. No, we didn't have the walkie-talkie today.
So now, the car's 11 miles back.
Yeah, which would have been a fine because I was going to cycle back. But then I checked my insurance and I'm not insured for it to drive any other car. So I'm the only one who can
So
cycle
I think
back.
with Andy's 36 minutes away and Robbie finishes work tonight, so he don't start till Saturday. So I haven't managed to get in contact with Andy yet, but I'm going to get Andy to come back here with Robbie, stay the night. He'll love that because he gets a bit of a break then, and then take Amy to her car in the morning.
Yeah.
So that's what's going to happen.
Unfortunately. But,
Yeah.
you know, these things happen.
Yeah, these things.
Plans
And the
don't
thing
go.
is now, guys, now we've got 2 boats, we need quite a space, 140 foot to moor them now.
It's just typical. The 2 places I wanted to moor was full up.
Yeah.
So we're here just before the Anchor Inn pub down there. There's a road down there, but absolutely no parking whatsoever. So unfortunately, Dad and Robbie have to park my car back there at the last bridge, which is like a third of a mile. But anyway, yeah, I think there's room for a poo, so we ended there.
It's now 4 days later, and I'm finally able to fly my drone after Storm Amy has passed. Now, I did go on some walks. I went on a lovely big 8-mile round walk around here, and then I took Amy's car ahead 5 miles and walked back from that with the dogs and Amy, and then I also dropped my car ahead 7 miles to Tyrley and walked back a lovely route of 8.5 miles. That's all been lost. I've lost all the files, and you'll find out how I lost the files in the next video. I'm still really upset about it because I absolutely love taking you guys on the walks with me, and I know you love them, and now, unfortunately, you're going to miss out on those. but they were some really, really interesting walks, and had a great time, but unfortunately it's all gone now, and all my footage of the storm. So, it's like it never happened. Thankfully, it wasn't too bad this storm. We got winds of about 40 miles per hour, but no trees were reported down on the Shropshire Union Canal, so we were fine to continue our cruise. And this was supposed to be in the next video, but because I've lost all the other footage now, it will be in this video.
So we're going to do 2 cruises in one day today because Dad needed to do a load of jobs yesterday. So, because usually we cruise Sunday and Tuesday. Today's Monday. Ideally, we want to do the 2 cruises today and get them done. Because Amy needs to get rid of her house hang because of course the Wheaton Aston one was broke. We need to pump out, and Amy needs a new gas bottle. She needs a new chimney, a new fender at the front as well. But I don't know if I'll buy those. We'll see. If it's cheaper than Wheaton Aston, maybe. Because I pulled the chimney off, Dad, and the handle fell off this time.
Is that the handle to the saucepan on the top?
No, well, they can't even use their fire without a chimney. So
we'll get a chimney today then, won't we?
Yeah. So we're going to be cruising. Well, this won't be in. It'll be 2 separate videos. So we're going to cruise the top of Tyrley Locks, and then we'll end today's video there, and then we'll continue in the next video down Tyrley Locks and then down Adderley through Market Drayton. But yeah, Storm Amy has come and gone. It wasn't too bad actually. It's still a bit windy.
No, it didn't affect the nut. Oh crikey! To be honest, yesterday was very, very windy. And what makes you laugh? They're still letting the day boats out. Day boats out in the storm.
Yeah.
They're right. They've been tacking up and down the canal, so it's been fine.
Yeah. And it's a nice day today, apart from the wind.
It's a lot warmer. It's twice the degrees it was yesterday.
It's going to get to about 20 today. So yeah, let's go and head down to Tyrley Locks.
Enjoy!
So this is the UK canal map. We are down here at High Offley in Staffordshire on the Shropshire Union Canal. We'll set off from here and make our way towards Knighton, where there's a massive great big embankment there. And then we'll head into the most beautiful section, in my opinion, of the Shropshire Union Canal, the section between Knighton and Wharf Tavern. Then we'll reach Wharf Tavern and we'll enter the massive Woodseaves cutting. And hopefully there's some fallen trees there. We'll then finally make it to Tyrley Locks, where we end today's video, making the cruise 8 miles.
It's still grounded. So begins the long line of moored boats. I'm really becoming a fan of these fender plants. What's going on with it? at last we can go above tick over. It took 50 minutes to get past all those boats and go about a mile and a half. What is that tractor beeping at? Oh, they're herding sheep.
Oh! Oh yeah!
Oh my god, that tractor's going fast.
And here we are at Knighton Factory. Now this was originally opened in 1911 and established by Cadbury to make chocolate crumb for their Bourneville factory in Birmingham, at a time where Cadbury's dairy milk chocolate was becoming enormously popular, so there needed to be a ready supply of Staffordshire milk. And this is why this factory was built here in the middle of the countryside, because there's plenty of dairy farms around here, where milk would have been collected alongside the canal and brought in boats to here. God, I would have loved to taste that chocolate crumb. I imagine it's so much better than it is now, Cadbury. But the factory was taken over by Premier Foods, and they made Angel Delights and among other powdered foods. But they announced in January 2023 that they were actually going to close this factory. Now I actually got off the boat here in this claim because there's plenty of wood I could collect. Now I did film it on my phone, but of course I lost those files, so you just see me here on the GoPro collecting wood.
Looks like a tree did come down en route, guys. That wasn't there me and Amy walked during the storm. It must have happened yesterday. Yeah, that one went down. That one came down as well. Funny enough, it was like they came down the evening after the storm, which is weird. Yeah. Luckily they didn't cover the canal. It's the field I walked through yesterday. Looks like that's a bunch of silt they've pulled up from the window now. It's on fire. So they've got some silt out from here as well. The dove box was.
my god!
The most beautiful view on the Shroppie canal this is. More hanging baskets.
Plant fenders again. Alright, it's quite happy cruising the boat at the moment. Amy.
This deep drafted boat.
Amy. Bill Atkins.
Bill Atkins was Mum's granddad's name, or my great granddad's name.
Those apples. And again, we don't see a boat for ages on the straight and wide bits, and then we get to a bridge and then there's a boat again. Well, that's the Wharf Tavern now. This is where Amy's car is, down that road. Yes, you've got another one, look at that. Little stinging nettles there. What is going on here? Look how listed, look how grounded we are now. So yeah, I think Robbie and Dad just grounded and it spun the front of Olive out towards that moored boat down there just as the GRP was passing, and the GRP almost got squashed. Yeah, and then we almost crashed into the back. If we didn't get grounded, then we would have crashed into the back of Olive. Right, we're finally off. Took a while. Majestic was pretty grounded then. Next up is Woody's cutting. Hopefully we don't see any boats in here.
We're now entering the deep, dark, damp Woodseaves cutting, the deepest one on the Shroppie Canal. Firstly, we pass through some sandstone, which would have been extremely hard to dig through, and explains why this cutting is so narrow. The sides are almost vertical, and you can just imagine that this would have been a hill once, and they just cut right through the middle of it. It is crazy. I love it, but also I do hate it sometimes because it can be shut when, you get too much rain and the loose soil can quickly be washed down into the canal, and it can cause a lot of problems with silt build-up and landslides, and also big trees falling down. But of course this was built through a farmer's field, so accommodation bridges were needed. This has to be the most crazy humpback accommodation bridge there is on the canal network. It just looks like a regular humpback bridge, but very, very tall. Of course, they had to build this over the top of the farmer's field to allow them to get to the other side. It is a sight to behold though, and it's truly quite unique.
So we're in Woody's cutting at the moment, guys, and we're almost at Tyrley locks. I think we've been cruising for quite a few hours.
2 hours, isn't it?
It's almost 2 o'clock now.
Yeah.
Quarter to 2. So it's quite a while. It took us quite a while because Dad was going so slow.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it was his own fault.
I think something around the prop.
There was something around the prop, so we were getting very close to him. We were a tick over. We couldn't go any slower. We almost crashed into him a couple of times for going so slow. So he was in we were in tick over and he was in almost max revs. But once they almost crashed into the GRP and pinned it against the other boat, they did a lot of reversing. So I think that might have cleared their prop because they're way ahead of us now.
Yeah,
They're probably already outside the locks.
They're gone now.
Yeah, we made it through Woody's cutting out to another boat, which is brilliant. Yeah, we're
Not
pretty
quite
proud
through
of
yet,
that.
are we?
No fallen trees. Well, there was a few fallen trees, but there was some trees that had caught the fallen trees, so they didn't cover the canal. So yeah, we're just gonna go to Tyrley and we're gonna go through the locks there, which will be in the next video, guys. But yeah, what a lovely October day.
Oh my god, I tell you what. Well, I said to John, I've got black trousers on and the backs of my legs were burning when the sun was so hot. I reckon it's only about 18 degrees, but
It was hotter in the sun. Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful day, absolutely beautiful day.
So yeah, that's the end of today's video. Join us next time where we head through Tyrley locks and Market Drayton. Come on camera, it's high dynamic range. Yeah, head through Market Drayton and then we head through Adderley locks as well. And more up at the bottom of Adderley flight.
Oh!
Mum just hit something below the water. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
See you later.